Hola, Bonjour, Guttentag, or however you say hello in your language, and a couple weeks ago, I made this omega tree that you see behind me. Anyway, I have arranged some simple tips and tricks in order to help you with your build. Now, please keep in mind that this is not a block-by-block tutorial, but instead, I'll be showing you said ideas. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so first tip here is that you can see that I am mapping out where the trunk of the tree is going to go and where the roots are going to be positioned. You can tell this because of the different bulges I have along the base of the tree, and this helps me just visualize where exactly everything is going to go. So once you've determined how you want your tree to be structured, you're going to begin placing the logs in a way that it starts going upward, and keep in mind that you want this to be structured similar to that of a real life tree. So it's going to be thicker at the base, and it's gradually going to get slightly smaller and thinner as you work your way upward. So you really can structure any of the main branches any way you'd like. I decided to go for a split tree trunk, but you can really do however you want. And keep in mind that these branches don't particularly have to be perfect, because nature is rarely ever perfect. So you can see here that I am working my way upward along these larger, thick branches, and this is important for the main branches. You really don't want to go thin too fast, because all of these smaller branches that are going to come off of it will accomplish that for you. So then you want to begin adding the smaller branches. Now you kind of want to follow the natural path and curve of the larger branches, but you can always go a little bit off of the beaten track, so to speak, with the branches, because nature often just doesn't follow what we'd expect, and trees rarely ever are perfectly symmetrical or anything like that. Now you want to structure the smaller branches so that it creates a thick canopy, or puts the leaves where you want them to be exactly. You can see that I've gone with an umbrella type shape, so I have structured the large branches to help accommodate that. Okay, so now that we've talked about the branches, let's go ahead and move on to things like the tiny twig branches and leaf placement. Okay, so the strategy I involved here was I decided to use fence posts. Now I decided to use spruce fence posts because it complements the oak wood very well. And you just want to go ahead and sporadically place fences on all of the external branches, and you just want to do this all over the tree. Now this may take a while, so be prepared for several hours of just placing fence posts in random directions. Now you don't want to make them absolutely everywhere. You do want to have some spaces where there aren't any fence posts in order to make it seem more natural and more leaf-like. A quick tip. So when you're doing this, be sure to make sure that the tips of the branches are very spread out with the fences, and then you're going to go through and add all of your oak leaves. Don't spam them all the time, everywhere, because then it just looks like a jumbled leafy mess, and that's not what we're going for here. We're going for something smooth and natural. So something I did to help make the foliage a little bit more dense is I added some vines with string on the bottom to keep them from growing, and just made the leaves drape down a tiny bit and filled in the middle space so that it's nice and dense. But being said, please don't spam it everywhere. Also, don't be afraid to use slabs and stairs on a giant tree, because all of the little details end up making it look so much better. For final details, I decided to put flowers on the top, but you can really do whatever you want. You can even put bamboo on some dirt on the top, and it makes it look even more lush. And that concludes my tips and tricks to help you build a giant tree in Minecraft. Now, please be sure to leave your support. It's greatly appreciated. If you have any comments on like what we should do with this tree or any build suggestions, be sure to leave them below in the comments. I'd be happy to read to them, respond to them, anything like that. Anyway, we'll see you all in the next video. Bye!